Please welcome to the stage Pluralsight founder and CEO Aaron Skonnard.
Whatever it takes, 'cause I love you. Welcome to our very first Pluralsight LIVE Europe. You guys excited? It's so good to be with you here today. I want to give a special welcome to all of our customers and partners who are here. I want to welcome the press and analysts who are here. And I want to give a very warm welcome to our 70 Pluralsight authors from all over Europe and APAC who are here. Authors, will you stand up so everyone can give you a hand? There they are. Thank you. We are excited for an incredible event. It's these moments when we're together live that we get our authors together with our customers and our partners and our team, and we learn from each other. We figure out how to create the upgrades that are going to lift our business, create better solutions that will go out and impact the world for good. This year at Live, we're focused on helping you and your teams sharpen the skills of today to better compete in the world of tomorrow. We want to help power new business models through empowered teams, empowered developers. We want to help you improve workflow efficiencies and speed up product development. Ultimately, we want to help you build better products faster. That's what Pluralsight is committed to, and that's what Live is all about. Here this week, we have some incredible customers on stage, like Google, Microsoft, Fujitsu, SAP, GSK, AXA, Nomura, and many more. And I'm super proud to announce that this year, over 50% of our speakers on stage are incredible women from technology. Please give it up for them. It's going to be an incredible live, and it's time to dive in. I want to just pause for a moment and ask you to consider how many programming languages and frameworks are available today. Does anybody know? It is a remarkable number. There are over 250 programming languages and frameworks in use right now. When I started my career, there were only a handful. Things have remarkably changed. And these languages are updated and change as many as 8 times per year. An average web developer today has to know at least 9 of these skills to be proficient in their role. A more specialized React web developer has to know 17. And with how quickly everything is changing, the pace is daunting. It's incredibly difficult to keep up. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how we can embrace this challenge and seize the opportunity associated with it to actually create even more of a competitive edge in the future. That's what Pluralsight Live is focused on. Throughout this session, I'm going to help you see how your leadership can make a difference in all of it, how tech skills are strategic, and how the Pluralsight Platform can help you win. And by the end, you'll see how you can take charge, take control of your future, and build the vision that you see for your organizations. All right? So let's dive in. Customers are transitioning to the cloud today, everywhere. They're securing the enterprise. They're having to make sense of big data and data science, and they're building modern infrastructures. More and more, they're now accountable for efficiencies, for faster product delivery, and of course, profitability. The most digitally determined businesses today need diverse tech teams and fluid org designs to be able to move faster and upskill quickly in this modern age. Competing in this new era really comes down to one word: speed. It's all about speed. Being able to quickly identify the right people with the right skills at the right moment in time to deploy and mobilize into teams. Being able to spin up new application in hours as opposed to months or years. Being able to increase the speed of product development and overall quality. Pushing to production hundreds of times a day as opposed to once a quarter or just a few times a year. It's about speed. We have to move faster. And in the end, it all boils down to something very simple: learning faster, acquiring skills faster. Moving faster and being nimble is possible by leveraging and empowering new technologies, these new skills that show up in our people. Here at Pluralsight, we've experienced our own version of this transformation over the years. We just had our 15th anniversary last month, by the way. And in the beginning, it looked much different than it does today. We started out in a physical classroom and then moved to a virtual webcast classroom, and then today to a fully cloud-based delivery model. We started out with a monolithic architecture and then moved to a more modern microservices architecture. We started out with waterfall methodology, moved to agile, and now our more modern directed discovery working style. These are all big shifts in how we work. They all required new skills and new technologies. And now Pluralsight, as a result, is able to move faster and faster than ever before. And hopefully it's producing more and more value for all of you as we move faster, ship faster, and deliver capabilities faster. That's what it's all about. And I hope you can say the same for your businesses, that you're seeing the same type of transformation happening internally. And as the tech leaders here, that you're driving and creating those shifts. You're creating those upgrades and creating more value for your customers. Because in the end, the companies who are going to win in the next decade are the ones who find these new ways of working, that are able to leverage these new technologies most effectively. And companies who have been around for decades aren't immune to this. No. They're actually facing an even bigger challenge because it's harder to move. It's harder to change. One of my favorite examples of a large tech company, notice the word tech company, who is striving to change and keep up with this pace of change is JP Morgan, one of the large banks that's global around the world, headquartered in the US. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, has famously said that they're no longer a bank. No, JP Morgan is now a tech company disguised as a bank. That subtle shift in thinking, like that change in the way they see themselves as a company, is falling into everything that they do. It's cascading into every decision they make, the people they go acquire, how they train up, upskill, and reskill their existing people. And they are embracing technology at the core. They have committed to a tech strategy. Their tech strategy has now become their corporate strategy, and it's driving everything. And they know that to win, it starts with investing in developers, investing in their IT teams, investing in the people who are creating that future for the company. And it's that change in thinking that will allow JP Morgan to continue to win in the future and stay on the Fortune 500 list 50 years from now. Intentionally deciding to become a tech company in your field, in your industry, requires you to first look at the skills needed to drive that change, to create that future. And when you do that, you realize that tech skills are strategic. They are the strategic differentiator of the future. It's the companies that become the best at developing tech skills that will win. It sits at the start of supply chain for all innovation within your companies. So when you think about how do we become a tech company disguised as whatever it is you do, it all starts with the tech skills. Tech skills are strategic. You know, the biggest cloud players in the world today have realized this. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and many others. They're all competing for a piece of this cloud transformation that's happening globally around the world. Within the next decade, I believe that every Global 2000 company will be built on one of several cloud providers, and many will be using multiple providers. This is a massive transformation, and these big players that we're partnered with, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, all know that the way to win is to build the best tech skill development strategy in the marketplace. The way they're going to get more utilization on their cloud platform is to produce more developers who have the skills to build applications on their platform. So it all comes back to the skills and the people. How do we most quickly and most effectively develop skills at scale on our platform? There's a bit of a war happening here. And luckily, Pluralsight is here to help, all three of them. Pluralsight is positioned as the go-to skill development platform for all three. They use us to most quickly and effectively ramp up and create these new skills across their ecosystems. And we're excited about what's happening as a result of all of it. We'll talk a little bit more about each of these later in the day. The best in-class companies in the future will be cloud-centric. And they'll be polynimbus. Have you heard that word before? Polynimbus. It means they're building on multiple clouds. Like it? In fact, Gartner predicts that by 2020, 75% of the organizations in the world will have deployed a multi-cloud or hybrid cloud model. The world is going here. And the best companies in the world will be polynimbus. They will learn how to embrace multiple clouds so they don't get locked into just one. They'll know how to build applications that run once and run anywhere. We're really excited about the announcement like Google's Anthos, which you may have heard of, which is a technology built specifically to facilitate that. Write it once, run it anywhere. You know, within the next decade, we're going to see massive change here. And all three of these cloud players are going to play a big role in it. And there's many other smaller ones who are going to play a role in it too. And we're really excited by all of that innovation and all that it's creating for our companies to create even more value for the world more quickly. And that's what our customers are doing. That's what we're seeing in all of you. It's an exciting time. Let me give you a few examples of our customers who are doing this today. Nomura is the first, and they're here today. Nomura is moving from a traditional on-premise infrastructure to a hybrid cloud model to automate trading on AWS. And by so doing, they're cutting costs, improving security, and reducing labor. Nomura uses Pluralsight to upskill teams on AWS, and they do it in London, in Tokyo, New York, across all of their locations. They're doing hackathons that drive innovation. And they're building these skills and energizing their marketplace with that approach. We're grateful to have Nomura's EMEA CTO, Nick Wadge, and their technology learning and development lead, Rachel Grieve, here with us today. Would you give them a quick hand? Thank you. We're excited to hear more about Nomura's journey moving to the cloud and what we can all learn from that. We also have great customers like AXA and Rabobank here. They're accelerating their digital transformations with Microsoft Azure to stay ahead of the competition without sacrificing security or compliance. They're keeping their Azure skills fresh, and they use Pluralsight to do that. Jeff Sandquist, who's the general manager of developer relations at Microsoft, working on Azure, said this last year: "We know that content, really any form of learning, drives the growth of our business at Azure. That's why Microsoft Azure is partnered with us." Do you like how I'm pronouncing Azure, by the way? That's my European version. IKEA is another one of our great customers that's building a Polynimbus strategy. IKEA knows that an automated and cloud-based infrastructure enables speed, flexibility, and cost optimization. They're using Pluralsight to skill up on Google Cloud. They're also skilling up on Azure and AWS, pursuing a Polynimbus strategy. Very innovative, exciting things that IKEA is doing to lead the charge. It's because of these cloud providers that we've mentioned, our partners, and these examples in our customers, that we know that we can help make a difference long term. Pluralsight's robust platform and our reach across all three of these providers puts us in a very unique position. So if you're using Pluralsight, you can count on being positioned with a best-in-class solution to skill up on any of them. Now, in addition to the cloud, there are other big technologies hitting the scene today. Have you heard of AI? We have things like AI, data science, machine learning, all super significant and impactful in our future strategies. We have things like cybersecurity, crypto, blockchain, and more. AR, VR. There's incredible technologies emerging, and we're all looking at them with wonder, thinking about how they're going to impact our futures. We can't acquire the skills fast enough, but we know we need to. These skills must become strategic to us. You know, just like 10 years ago when we were starting to see the advent of the cloud, we were thinking the same things then. Now we're staring forward and looking at AI over the next decade. And it's going to be the companies who figure out how to build the best skills strategy for moving to AI that will win over the next decade. It's time to act. The time is now. Where will you be in AI 10 years from now? That's the question to be asking yourself. What can you do starting today to start building that future? How are you going to build that capability? Does that sound obvious? It may sound obvious, but it's not obvious. And the data proves it out. Only 26% of tech leaders said that their IT organization skills in digital experiences were above average. So they're lacking. 52% of tech leaders say that skill development is either unstructured or a direct response to immediate project needs, meaning it's not strategic. Only 13% of tech leaders view skill development as a strategic initiative to transform their business. So you're in that 13% because you're here. Only 13% of tech leaders see tech skill development as central to driving a tech strategy. You're in a rare class. You're leaders in the marketplace. You're leaders in your industries. And we need to help the world see that to drive that future, it starts with the skills. And they're watching you. They're following your example. They're learning from your companies, from your leadership. As we look to the future, every tech leader needs to ask themselves, what can I do? Who can I be to make tech skills strategic so that we can create the skills we need in the future to transform our business and better serve the world? The good news is Pluralsight is here to help. We have an amazing platform. We have an amazing team. We have a committed team. We have a solution that can help you on this journey. Our SaaS platform enables you to win in this new digital age. It's because of our rapid content development engine, our incredible authors who you just met here in Europe, that we can move and keep up with the pace of change. We can move fast. It's because of our personalized skill development experience that are now driven by data science and machine learning that wraps around the content that allows us to extract even more value for you. It's those key features, those innovations that allow us to keep up with the pace of change and help you build this capability where tech skills become strategic to your company across the entire global footprint. Our platform will help you create that future that you see. We're not just content and courses anymore. No. We're the technology skills platform. Just like sales leaders have SAP and Salesforce, just like HR leaders have applications like Workday, tech leaders now have Pluralsight. We are building this platform to give you a daily go-to platform that you can turn to effectively create this future that we're talking about, that gives you analytics and insights into your current skills footprint, allowing you to measure and inventory the skills you have across the organization, that allows you to expose the skills gap relative to your tech strategy, where you want to go. And we give you the content and the learning experiences to close that gap, to effectively create that future. And we can show it to you in the data to give the business confidence that the investment is producing the ROI that you expect. And ultimately, we're going to be able to tell you if it's all working. Is it producing better outcomes, better solutions, better results for your customers? It's this platform that allows us to help companies like Atos, who's here today, stay on the cutting edge as the official Olympic and Paralympic partner. It's how we help O2 Telefonica deliver award-winning web and mobile apps all across Europe. As you go through the day, you're going to hear from customers like these, who share their stories, share their journey, and please know that we can do the same for you. We can help you on your unique journey, create that unique competitive advantage to drive that future. Here at Pluralsight, we're continually innovating and disrupting, challenging ourselves to do more and do better, both in the realms of our content and product experiences. One of our most recent innovations, which you may not have heard of, is called the Pluralsight Technology Index. This is an invention of ours that looks across 8 billion data points across the marketplace. We're extracting data from websites and repositories where developers and IT people hang out. We analyze what they're sharing and what they're saying, and then we rank the top 100 most popular technologies at this moment in time, all driven by data science. and then we share that information back with you. This gives CIOs and CTOs and their teams insights on the growing and declining technology trends at any moment in time to help you better inform your thinking and your strategies. Which technologies should we adopt? Which way should we go? Should I pick a technology that's declining or pick a technology that's on the rise? That's the purpose of this simple contribution of ours. It's freely available. You can go out and Google, search for Pluralsight Technology Index, and see it appear. One of many examples of how we're using data to drive the future of everything we do. In the last 18 months, we also introduced you to Iris. Those of you who were with us at Pluralsight Live in the US saw us announce this not long ago. Iris is the brains behind our platform. Iris allows us to do a lot of interesting things. We also introduced you to the Pluralsight IQ experience. IQ stands for Iris Quotient. Our first member of the family was Skill IQ. Skill IQ is the ability to measure the proficiency in an individual technology skill. We now have over 1.9 million Skill IQs benchmarked across the industry. With each data point, Iris becomes smarter and smarter, and our learning experience becomes more personalized and adaptive for each individual using our platform. Skill IQ has made it possible for us to identify skill gaps at the individual skill level and provide the adaptive tools to close those gaps. We've made a lot of progress since releasing Iris and Skill IQ, but we realized there was a lot more we could do to help measure the proficiency of a person in a role, which is really a collection of multiple skills. Today's existing techniques for measuring proficiency in a role are insufficient at best. Most companies are using a combination of expensive consultants to figure this out, vendor certifications, sometimes just multiple in-person interviews to figure out, do the people we have in these roles have the skills they need to succeed? And heaven forbid, we then need to think about how do we get someone who's over here without the skills into this role that requires this set of skills. As a result, today, leaders simply don't have a solution. They don't have a way to understand their existing talent. Until now. We have a better way. That's why we introduced the newest member of the Pluralsight IQ family, Role IQ. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Role IQ is an incredible capability. It allows us, through the lens of skills, to figure out if an individual has the proficiency level they need in each of those skills to be qualified for a technology role. So this groundbreaking new way to measure proficiency in a role is now a core part of our platform. And by the way, it's free for individuals to use anywhere in the world. Let's take a minute to look at a video to see exactly how it works.
When you build a great product, you do it with precision. You don't just wing it, you have a plan. Why don't you approach teams the same way? Because you can't. Oftentimes, putting the right people on the right projects feels like a guessing game. You're in the dark. Let's say you need to build a new enterprise web app to replace some aging legacy software. How do you know you have the right people to pull it off? You could walk into a room and ask, "Who here's a web developer?" You might get a fair share of takers. Great, but I need people who know Angular. Yeah? Okay, but who's really experienced? Let me show you what Pluralsight's Role IQ can do for you. With Role IQ, people will finally know which skills really matter for their jobs. They can prove how good they are, or see if they're falling behind. They'll know what it takes to become the best. It's the way to quantify roles across your technology teams. And you can customize roles and build teams to tackle your biggest objectives. Whether that's moving critical apps to the cloud, eliminating cybersecurity threats, or building your next great customer experience. It's time to move from chaos to clarity. With Role IQ, you can now quantify the talent across all your teams, so you can make the right calls, deliver faster, and nail your goals. Stop the guesswork. Go rock your role.
We are so excited about Role IQ and the capability it's going to give each of you and your organizations to really drive a digital transformation strategy. By being able to map people to roles through this capability, you have a mechanism to create digital transformation, talent transformation at scale through the lens of these tech skills. Now, we knew that our customers would need a better experience for this, for leaders. We've been hard at work building new Role IQ specific experiences and analytics to give tech leaders even more capabilities beyond the default implementation. So we knew that we would need the ability for those leaders to customize roles that fit their exact needs in the organization and to get more analytics around how it's actually working across the business. To show you more about some of these new capabilities, I'd like to welcome Lindsay Beck, the Vice President of Product Marketing, to stage to do a little demo. Lindsay, come on out. Give her a hand. All right, Lindsay, show us what you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here, Aaron. So let's dive into these new Role IQ leader experiences. So here we'll see if you wanted to create a custom Role IQ on our platform, you can go ahead and start with an existing customized role already created by your company. You could use one of the roles that we co-created with our partner, Microsoft Azure.
So that one there, we actually co-authored with Microsoft.
Yes, we worked on those with Microsoft. Or you could start with one of the Role IQs that Pluralsight's already created for you.
Perfect.
So whether you need a cloud admin with specific security skills, or in this instance, an Angular web developer, you're able to find exactly the skills that you need for your roles.
So this here is a drop-down of all of the skills that are available in our system today. So these are all the skill IQs.
Yes, we have over 160 available on our platform today.
And we're shipping more every month, every quarter.
Yes. And here, you're able to actually customize it further. So you're actually able to change the proficiency level for this particular skill, plus or minus 10%.
So for each skill, you can go in and tweak the proficiency level. So you can say, for this particular skill, you need to be expert, but for a different skill, you might only need to be novice.
Right, you can make a little adjustment there. So, and then lastly, to make this a real badge of honor and to find it quickly on our platform, you can do a final piece of customization that makes it really quickly easy to find.
Like creating a custom badge for the role.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Exactly right. So now I'm going to go ahead and publish this role on the platform. So now I'm able to go in and actually assign it. I'm going to assign it to Lauren here and go ahead and assign her the role. And now Lauren is actually getting notified to take a few final skill assessments that are very quick to help validate and benchmark her proficiency in this custom role we just created.
You know, I think it'd be fair to say that a Role IQ is roughly equivalent to a boot camp experience in the marketplace today. You know, some of these roles that consist of multiple skills would be 40 to 50 hours worth of training experiences. And so this is a way for you to say, okay, Lauren, we want you to go from here to this new role. And by simply creating that custom role and then assigning her to it, she's basically jumping into one of those boot camp experiences to upgrade her career.
Exactly. And the Skill IQ experience is actually tailoring that learning journey specifically to where Lauren's at in terms of her proficiency.
Awesome. So
Great.
cool.
So for the teams, they have this new path to mastery in whatever their role is. And for the leaders, you now have unprecedented visibility into the modern tech roles that exist within your organization. And you have visibility into the technical capabilities in your teams with the roles analytics here. So you're able to see, as I'm showing here, all of the roles. And for this Angular web developer role in particular, all of the proficiencies. And I'm able to actually go find Brody, who's a level 2 Angular web developer. So this helps you inform decisions on how to put the right people on the right teams to help you move faster.
Fantastic. Lindsay, I'm going to ask you to hang out here for a minute because I want you to show something else in just a second.
My
Will you do that for
pleasure.
me? Give Lindsay a hand. Wasn't that an awesome little demo? Awesome. So in the end, I want to put a punctuation mark on this. I should say an exclamation point. A very specific type of punctuation mark. I would like you to see here that this simple capability lays at the foundation of building a digital transformation strategy. We talked about this yesterday in a lot of the customer meetings. If you have people who are here that you need to get over here, and it's all about that tech skill development, this capability allows us to produce that, correct? Mm-hmm. So in the end, moving towards this world where you as a leader are driving the company forward requires these type of simple capabilities. And it's through this capability that we know you can move from chaos to clarity. You've got a path forward. Now, switching gears slightly, we know there's another area of software development in IT that's still somewhat chaotic and slow. And it's around collaboration and knowledge sharing, especially when you're working on the project and trying to get things done. When your teams are facing tough questions or roadblocks and they can't figure out how to move forward, they may not know where to turn for help. And tapping someone on the shoulder physically doesn't work if you're working in a global team with people all over the world. Those team members probably turn to Slack or email. But the problem with those solutions is you don't know where the people are with the exact skills you need at any moment in time. So we need a better way. This is a key problem that we set out to solve recently. And we've been hard at work building a new solution, a new experience that we'd like to announce today, and we call it Q&A. Q&A. There it is. With Q&A, it's never been easier to find and share knowledge within your organization. And once you've captured it, it's yours forever. It doesn't leave with the team members when they go to their next journey. The knowledge is captured and it stays within your company securely and privately, and you can quickly find it right when you need it. So let's take a look at how this works, Lindsay.
Let's do it. All right. So let's imagine that I'm working to integrate a new service into our application. And while I'm normally up for a challenge, this one's actually slowing down my team, and I'm sure someone has already figured this out. So I go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to navigate to Q&A to post a question.
She's one of our fastest typists at Pluralsight. Did you see that?
Great.
Just like in the blink of an eye.
And I'm actually able to preview the code that I pasted in that I'm working on, so people can actually take a look and help. Then I'm able to tag it with JavaScript, and I'm going to go ahead and add Node.js.
Okay, so hold on. So right here, the tagging is really important because this is going to determine where the question gets routed.
Exactly. So when I hit submit, the question has been sent out to our internal experts on JavaScript and Node, and they're getting notified by email, Slack, and within the Pluralsight application.
Very cool.
All right, so I just submitted that, and I'll be able to watch the responses as they come in right here. Now I'm feeling generous today. I need a little bit of help. We need some good karma here. So I'm going to go ahead and check out. I see Austin has a question here, And I actually posted this earlier this morning, but it's about internal naming conventions. So not something that we would want Austin posting out in the world. I was actually able to give him the exact naming conventions for how we leverage RabbitMQ.
Very cool. So really with Q&A, we can capture knowledge around any question. Once that information is saved into the system, our company will benefit from it forever.
Yep, exactly. And you can search and filter for answers for whatever question you may have.
Cool. And where's this available today?
Yeah, so we're very excited about the launch of Q&A today here at Pluralsight Live, and it's available on all enterprise plans today.
Perfect. Thank you, Lindsay. Give her a hand. With features like Iris, Skill IQ, Role IQ, and now Q&A, lots of two-letter acronyms there, no one can help you enable skills development faster than Pluralsight. Our platform is the most comprehensive solution to enable digital transformation at scale. We have a complete solution. But wait, there's one more thing. One more thing to talk about today. You may have heard that just a few weeks ago in our last earnings call, we announced our acquisition of GitPrime. Yes. GitPrime is an incredible product. We know that learning new technologies and processes work best when they're integrated into a team's workflow, when it's actually built into how your developers are working. With GitPrime, we'll bring even more visibility to you and your leaders around how your teams are working and how effective they're being. Are they producing the outcomes that you expect? With Pluralsight, we help you skill up, and with GitPrime, we help you know if it's actually working. To tell you more about GitPrime firsthand, I'd like to welcome to the stage co-founder and CEO, Travis Kimmel. Travis, come on out.
Thanks, man. Hi, everyone. My name's Travis. I'm super excited to join Pluralsight as the head of developer productivity. And the thing that we always like to start with is how unique developer productivity is. And so I want to walk through a few examples. This is one of our favorites when we're doing product development. It's a ticket we received when I was running an engineering team that simply said, build a mood button in the app, right? Sometimes you get these. We were quite confused by this, but a good friend of mine, Dan, who's a very good developer, said, look, I'll take a run at it. So he did. He took a run at it, and then he took another run at it. And about 3 months later, after trying several times, the entire project was scrapped. And so when we think about developer productivity, one of the things we're thinking about is the fact that productivity is really a developer's natural state, and then things get in the way, right? If you have developer friends, you know that they're very productive in their personal lives as well. A friend of mine builds battle bots on the side. Like, they show up every day looking to engage in fascinating problems, and then something goes awry. And so from our perspective, the thing that we can do is find those things as they're going awry. And so if we had this when Dan and I were working together, we could have seen what we call code churn, that's in the red. We break apart the style of work that developers do into different pieces. And churn is what we think of when a developer is writing a lot of code, but it's not really sticking. Like, it's not making it up to production. It's not really generating business value. And there's a certain amount of this that's natural. I mean, it's R&D after all. But when you see a spike like this, it's a sign that leadership can engage and help unwind a problem that may be happening under the hood. Another one, these are the button problems, as they are affectionately referred to. This is another ticket. Please make all the buttons in the app green, right? Seems fairly simple. And what the business thinks about when they ask for this is maybe that's a half day worth of work. But oftentimes what will happen is a developer will pick up a ticket like this and they'll say, yes, I'm going to make all the buttons green, but while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and refactor the entire templating engine because I've been meaning to get around to that, right? Maybe some of you have run into this. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the thing to underscore here is this is really good behavior. Like, the developer is taking initiative. If you see a problem, fix the problem, all this good stuff. But there's this creeping delta between what the business ordered and then what got delivered that could be 3 months worth of work. And so what we like to do is provide the visibility to get in there sort of on day 3. We see Amy here, she's working on making the button screen. But if we look at the work, she's been at it for a couple days, and there's a ton of legacy work being refactored. And so again, this is an important signal that a development manager can get in there and say, okay, well, what's going on here? This looks like good work, but it might be something best reserved for a future sprint. So the thing that we really like to emphasize here is this is not about coding faster, right? It's not faster fingers on the keyboard, and it's not about counting lines of code. In fact, we wanted to tack so far away from that we developed a bunch of unique metrics like impact. So if you imagine here on the left, we have 100 lines of greenfields code, right? Just brand new work. And then on the right, it's about 20 lines of a refactor. Now, from the perspective of impact, the thing on the right is bigger. And the reason it's bigger is that what we're really trying to approximate here is the cognitive load that a developer experiences when they're doing work. And so if you're in there and you're having to sort of hunt around and deal with work that maybe multiple people originally wrote and refactor that, we think of that as a bigger problem than writing a lot of greenfields code. We have a lot of these. So here's another one. As Aaron mentioned, knowledge sharing is a key problem for technology teams. And one of the areas where this happens is code review. And so we thought about code review and how developers do this sort of after the work is done. And we thought, gosh, maybe there's a way we can engage and measure the level of knowledge sharing that's happening during the code review process. And so we looked around for a good metaphor, and what we came up with was this thing called the Gini Index. Maybe some of you've heard of that. It's how the UN and the World Bank measure wealth distribution in a society. So we took that math, and we mapped it onto the code review process, and we came up with a knowledge sharing index that helped technology teams figure out how well they're doing about sharing knowledge amongst their team during code review. Similarly, we think a lot about this code review process. There's the act of writing code, and then there's a lot of peripheral stuff around it. And so with reports like this, we help look at the work that comes after writing code, because oftentimes what you see is that a team will spend 2 to 3 times as long in the acceptance and review phase as they will actually writing the code. And if you can compress that, you get this perceived lift in productivity that, again, doesn't involve people working harder. It's really a systems problem, and we're just coordinating the flow of work better. Really what all this is about, as Aaron mentioned, is a new way to power business by thinking about engineering in a fresh new way. In an ideal world, that more closely mirrors how developers think of it natively. By doing so, we can help teams debug their development process and stay competitive. In joining with Pluralsight, we're super excited about this because there's this whole picture that we can now address. So Pluralsight has always done a great job of measuring skills and helping with skills acquisition, and we can now see the application of these skills as ground truth. And by doing that, we help technology organizations stay competitive and empower developers to do the best work of their careers. You're going to see a lot more from us in the coming weeks and months. For now, I'll turn it back to Aaron, but we're really excited to be here, and we'd love to chat with all of you afterwards. Thank you.
Thanks, Travis. So exciting. So once again, Pluralsight helps you skill up. GitPrime helps you know if it's actually working. You know, that's really, in a nutshell, what this is all about. I would encourage you to reach out to your account executive about GitPrime today, and there will be a breakout session on it later this afternoon. So in the end, think about your leadership and how you're empowering your teams to move forward to this future we've been describing. You have a choice. Do you see tech skills as strategic to your futures? Are you empowering your leaders to help you move faster? Can you measure the productivity of your teams? Can you see the outcomes in the results? Here at Pluralsight, we know that your tech strategy is your corporate strategy. We see you as tech companies disguised at whatever it is you do. You know, we are building to that future. And as the resident tech leader in your organizations, you have the power to choose the road forward. You have more influence than you likely realize. As one CEO said, if you can't get it to market more quickly, there's no doubt that the market will have changed. And no matter how well you've engineered it or how well you've deployed it, it's not going to be quite right because it's just a little too late. We have to move faster. It's time to take charge. Build the capabilities that you need to win tomorrow by starting today with us. We're here to help. Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy.